moon.
Hello there, I'm Tom from That's No Moon, and today I'm going to take you through how I like to build lists for the Imperials. We have asked Ollie if he would take you through how he likes to list build for Imperials, but I've been asking him since September and he still hasn't done it, so he's pretty lazy. I think if I don't do it, it's never going to get done. So I'm going to take you through how I like to do it. With the Inquisitors coming out, I'm pretty excited about that, so I thought that's what I would take you through today. I heard on a podcast recently that people think that having Vader and both Inquisitors isn't a good idea. I disagree, so I'm going to take you through how I like to do it. You're going to need to go to your list builder of choice. Cockles and Andy like to use Tabletop Admiral, but they're wrong. So we're going to go ahead and use the 5th Troopers HQ, Legion HQ. So bring that up and join us there.
Let's throw in brother, sister, and let's get the best version of Vader. Where is he? Here he is. Let's throw him to the top there. So the first thing I like to do on a Jedi is put force push. So let's just throw that as the force power on all three of these, because having played a bunch of Anakin and Kenobi back when I owned the Republic, I loved playing both of those. Double force push is so good, and it's the only thing I can think that would be better is triple force push, so we're going to leave that there. The Inquisitors have got this amazing upgrade card in the training slot called Inquisitorious Training. So let's bring that up on the screen. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let's bring that up on the screen. So this can only be brought by them. They gain Demoralize 1, which is great. So when they activate, they get to give 1 suppression out to a unit. And this is amazing if you're against anybody who's taken a standby. And because we're going to be getting into melee, and a lot of people, especially with things like Maul, like to double move standby or move into melee and standby so that you can retaliate. This is amazing because it's going to knock off those standbys. But the main part of the card that we're looking at here is when a unit at range 1 exhausts a force upgrade, you may roll a red defense die. If you see any paint, so a block or a surge result, cancel the effect of that upgrade, and it remains exhausted. So if you run both of these guys in, you're going to have, like, if any force user tries to force push you out of melee to keep moving, you're going to have at least 1, if not 2, if they're both at range 1, opportunities to cancel that. And, on a red die there's only 2 blanks, so this is huge. This is such a big part of their toolkit that I think it's an essential to put this on both of them. So looking at their card, if you look at 7th Sister, she has Jump, Associate 5th Brother. During list building, this unit doesn't count against the number of operatives that you may include if 5th Brother is included in the same army. So we could run Operative Vader with 5th Brother and 7th Sister, because they cancel each other out and count as 1 slot to the operative slot, but we're gonna keep Commander Vader, because otherwise we're gonna still have to take a commander. Block. Now block is amazing. Block is giving you surge to defense when you spend a dodge in melee as well as ranged attacks. So it's like deflect plus, because you can use it in melee. 5th Brother also has this. You have Disciplined 1, you have Immune Pierce, and you have Interrogate. So Interrogate, while a unit is at range 1 of this, treat its command cards as if it's having 1 additional pip. Amazing. It's kind of like Cunning, but instead of reducing yours, it makes theirs worse. So Brother has Dauntless. He's got Block as well. Enrage 2, so when you have 2 or more wounds, your courage goes to infinite and you gain charge, and immune pierce. So both of these guys we're going to keep as they are. We will add another training to them. Personally, I think a great training here is Seize the Initiative. So let's throw that on there. You could also have Tenacity, so if they've taken a wound, they get an extra dice. Sorry. Offensive Push is always great on Force users. They Surge to Hit, so having Into the Fray is great for defense, but let's just throw on Seize the Initiative, because when Vader is throwing out his 1-pips, having 3 units with an order is pretty big. So Force Powers on Vader. You got to have Burst of Speed. Gives you speed 3, especially on Implacable. You're getting that for 3 turns, 3 actions. You get the 2 activations. I think that's massive. Obviously, you've got Force Push. Barrier is pretty good. And I think the way that I'd like to play this list, Vader's probably going to be moving with brother and sister. So he's going to be taking wounds away from them as well. Choke is still pretty good, even though it had a nerf and it's only one mini chosen by the person who's being choked. So you can't specify that it's the heavy, but just killing a mini out of a squad is still pretty good. Reflexes, I think, is really good. Tap to get a free dodge. That's always good on your currently 210 point unit, so maybe we'll throw that on there. Force Saber Throw is interesting. I think a lot of people like Saber Throw. Personally, I prefer using Vader in melee. Having half the dice, especially with the new cover rules, I think is makes him quite hard. It's not the best way to play him in my personal opinion. So I think I'm going to add Barrier, because he's going to be moving with sister and brother there. So for the command slot, what do we want to put in? So got some interesting choices here. Got Vigilance is always good. It's quite expensive. But a Force user rolling a dodge over into their next turn is pretty good. I think that pairs nicely with Force Reflexes. Lead by example. I'm not sure that he needs the Inspire, especially once brother starts taking some wounds and goes to infinite courage. Plus, nobody's panicking because Vader's courage is infinite, which is a huge part of it. So let's add on Improvise Orders. Improvise Orders is just giving that flexibility that you always want in a list. If you don't have that card, you end up pulling the wrong token, and it bums me out every time. So we're at 3 activations at 480 points, so we've spent well over half of our points on 3 units, but that is the focus of our list. We're going to move them in together. If they've got a Force user, we're switching off the majority of their Force powers as they come against 3 real heavy hitters. So we're going to need some core. I think we're going to be in a bit of a point drought for the rest of this, so I think we probably don't have the points to invest in making Shore Troopers really good with the mortars. We can't use the Black Sun or the Pikes. Well, we can, but they don't count towards our minimum, so I think we'd be better off using Storms and Snows. Personally, I really like Snow Troopers. Having Surge to Hit, Red Save, and Steady is really good. They're a little bit slower than the Stormtroopers, but I still really like them. So I'm going to throw 1 Snow and 2 Storms into here. So that puts us at 612 points. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some Royal Guard. So the reason that I'm thinking this is because if we move the Royal Guard with our 3 Saber users there, we're going to end up being able to soak off wounds with the Guardian keyword. So if Guardian 2, it's not restricted to Commander only. They have Discipline 2, so when they're issued an order, they can remove 2 suppression tokens. So that's good to know that if we do need that, then we can use it. But I think they're going to end up as bullet sponges. So let's add on Protector. So you exhaust this so that you can block crits, so you can Guardian crits. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because let's just scooch this guy up here. Having Protector and Barrier work quite nicely together. So if someone shoots Vader, he can be guardianed by the Royal Guard. If you shoot the Royal Guard brother or sister, you can tap Barrier to cancel one hit there. So interesting synergies there. It makes them real defensive, but also just this absolute powerhouse just charging towards you if you do nothing about it. So we're at 686 points. So we could throw the heavy on here, which is going to put us at 700. If we throw the heavy on, that's an extra 2 wounds. You're also getting immune melee pierce, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll leave him on there for the minute. So we've got about 93 points to play with. So we could look at adding another. So this is where it gets interesting, in my opinion. Do you buff up your core, or do you add some more special forces? So if it was rebels, I like to play my rebels with real lean core. I think if you're not playing vets with the CMO, you're probably playing naked rebels, unless you're trying to do something specific. I think what I would like to do is add in a sniper, so we can have the sniper as a little back objective holder at 755. So now we're at 8 activations. Having watched Dave Grant play a lot, I know that you can make less than 8 activations work. Since the pass mechanic was added, even more so. But I prefer to sit around 8. I think it's probably a lack of practice with less than that. But it's a comfort thing. That's where I like my lists to sit. Ideally, I'd like them at 10, but with the 3, we've got a real point sink here in in these 4 units. It's the majority of our list. So having a sniper sit towards the back is no bad thing. What I think we could do here, though, is on a squad of storms, let's just add a med droid so that we've got someone that can move up with the squad, again keeping them real tanky here. 774, so if we add another one in there, that puts us at 793. We have 2 med droids in the storms, leave the snow troopers and the scouts towards the back to hold some objectives there. I think that's pretty good. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll add Hunter to the strike team. So if they're targeting a wounded character or a wounded unit, they can they get a free aim. So with the snipers, a lot of people think they're quite fickle and they don't hit very often because they don't surge. So having that aim just massively increases it, because once you're in position, you're going to be aim shooting. So to have 2 aims if it's against something that's wounded, that's huge. So I'm quite happy with where we're at here. We're at 799 points, so we only have 1 point as the bid. So let's just have a check. So if we get rid of Hunter, that puts us at 793. I think if we can... So this is where the battle deck becomes really important. So at 793, we've got a fairly good bid in the current meta, unless you're playing against something like a Blizzard Force. Blizzard Force is going to be bringing things like hostage. It's going to be bringing key positions. It's going to be bringing a bombing run, and it's going to be bringing breakthrough. So out of those 4, half of them this list is quite good against. I think it's hostage, having triple force push. you just get on turn 2 when you can interact with the enemy hostage. You're just triple force pushing that hostage back towards your deployment zone, which is going to give you a real advantage. Playing key positions, again, you've got triple force push. You keep your force users towards the end, and then in the middle objective, you force push everything off them. You start going in. You even have quadruple force push in the implacable turn because Vader's getting to use it twice, because that is what you're going to be refreshing with Master of the Force. So I don't mind it into the Blizzard matchup. We've got some good defensive tech, like I said, with Barrier and Guardian. So let's look at our command hand. Okay, so out of the 1 pips, we have Implacable, we have the standard Ambush, we have Covert Ops, we can't take Ploy because we have no mercenaries, we have Vader's Might, and we have Come and Prove It. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Implacable. So Implacable gives Darth Vader the option to take 1 wound, to put his order token back in the bag once he's already activated, which is huge. Being able to go twice with Vader is massive. He performs 1 fewer action, so he's only going to get 1 action, but when he has Relentless, all you need is that force push, move, attack, and if you pop Burst of Speed the turn that we play Implacable, you're getting a 3 speed move, so you can double move and Relentless attack, you can force push, and then in your next activation you can move at 3 speed again. So if you save this for your key positions, we've seen it time and time again with Ollie on his Blizzard Force, it's huge. So now we have a bit of a conundrum here. So do we want to play the new Come and Prove It? So this is 5th Brother and 7th Sister. 5th Brother and 7th Sister gain Indomitable and roll 1 extra die when defending. If 7th Sister is defeated, is declared as the target of an attack while she has a face-up order token, she gains 1 dodge token. Now that's pretty good. I quite like how there's it's 2 orders being given out on a 1 pip. So I think it's either that or Vader's Might. And Vader's Might is pretty good because it lets Vader basically get an additional attack. So it's a free action. You get to choose a non-heavy unit at range 1, place it on the battlefield within range 1 and height 1 of its current position. If it's an enemy unit, roll 1 defense die for each mini in that unit. Suffers 1 wound. So you get a lot of movement here on somebody else's unit, which is huge. It's why Force Push is so strong. So having this as a free command card is massive. It's a real tough choice here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 7th Sister's card in there, which I'm sure that there's a lot of people screaming at me that I'm wrong, but I want to give it a go. So looking at the 2 pips, you have new ways to motivate them. You give somebody a wound to get 1 additional action. You have pinned down, we have no vehicles or supports, so that card's getting left behind. Aggression, we have no mercenaries, so we can't take that. Fear and Dead Men, so while Vader uses Deflect, the attacker suffers a wound on a blank result instead of a surge. So you're doubling the amount of wounds that you're going to do back with Deflect, which is great. When he activates, he gains a dodge token. Any dodge tokens on Vader is massive. So then we have we have 1 for Brother and 1 for Sister. So Brother's command card, Would You Question Me? So permanent, when 5th Brother gains an aim token, 7th Sister gains a dodge token. When 5th Brother gains a dodge token, 7th Sister gains an aim token. When either unit gains an aim or a dodge, the other unit may gain an immobilized token. If they do, the first unit gains an additional token of the same type. So this is a permanent token generating buff. This is wicked. I think this is really strong for the pair of them, and I think it's one that I'm going to want to take. And then Unexpected but not unwelcome is Seventh Sister. When issuing an order by this card, when a unit issued an order by this card recovers. When Seventh Sister is attacking a commander or an operative with a face down order token, during the attack roll steps, she may take up to 2 suppression tokens. She may gain 2 aim tokens for each suppression. She may gain 1 aim token for each suppression token taken in this way. So again, if you play the brother card first, you're ending up buffing them, which is pretty exciting. So the question is, do we want to take that over either of the Vader cards? So I don't really want to be wounding them with new ways, but we are leaving Vader with no order. I think I'm going to take new ways over unexpected but not unwelcome, because Fear and Dead Men is good, but it's situational. It's only giving out 1 order. That's the card that gets left behind in the Blizzard Force lists, so I don't mind leaving that. So yeah, I think we'll take new ways because we want to make sure that Vader has orders, and because we have two Medroids, we can start pulling off those wounds if we're putting them on. So let's get that in there. So then we have another quandary going on here. So Master of Evil, absolutely banging card. You get when Vader is issued an order, he gains a dodge. Like I said before, always want a dodge on Vader if you can. When he activates, each trooper unit of range 1 to 2 gets 3 suppression. Massive. You're potentially panicking people. When you get in that close with Vader, you're going to try and kill the commanders, then everybody's panicking. That's exciting, especially when you've coupled that with Seventh Sister and Fifth Brother with the Inquisitorious training with Demoralize. They're giving out an additional suppression for each of them. So let's leave that where it is for the minute, because Darkness Descends, in my mind, is almost an auto-include. You play it first round, you don't divulge it, so you gain reliable 2. Darth Vader having 2 surge tokens, you almost exclusively save them for defense. I think we need to take that. So I'm going to add that in. Let's see what I Care Not For Your Struggles is saying. So this is 3 pip for Fifth Brother and 2 troopers, so we can get Vader an order on this. Fifth Brother may issue an order range 1 to 5 this turn. Units that are issued orders by this card gain Dauntless this round. That's pretty good, but it's not the best, I don't think. I think Master of Evil is probably a more impactful card in the game. So let's see what You Hide Your Fear Well is saying. So Seventh Sister gains Demoralize 1. So because this is a numbered keyword, it's going to stack. So she's going to have Demoralize 2. While enemy units at range 1 of Seventh Sister are suppressed, they roll 1 fewer die when spending aim tokens. Okay, so your aim token works more like a observation token with this card. Again, we're giving out 3 orders. I think it's pretty good, but I think we're probably going to get more mileage out of having everybody heavily suppressed, because we're giving out the same amount of orders. Demoralize is good, but Master of Evil is better. So all you're doing is downgrading the aims, which is good, but again, when you're in the thick of it, I think we're going to be trying to be murdering some people. So we have our command hand. So objectives. So breakthrough. We've only got 8 activations. I don't think breakthrough is the best. Let's get key positions in there. So we have the force push. We can be pushing people off on turn 6 from the objectives. Good play there. I think that's pretty key. Hostage. We're definitely going to throw that in there again. You've got manipulation of people's movement. Let's leave that there. So yeah, I don't really want breakthrough. I don't really want bombing around. I haven't got a huge amount of fast units. Recover. I think recover will be okay. We've got some speed 3 with Vader. Again, we've got the pushes. I'm going to put recover. Intercept again. We're kind of forcing people to get to the middle of the table. We're pretty aggressive. It's going to make people come to you if you can get there first. So yeah, let's add intercept. So that's our objectives. Then deployment. We want to be pretty close with this. So Vader, the IRG, Seventh Sister, Fifth Brother, all melee focused. We've got our linebacking units here with the strike team staying at range 5. We've got the snow troopers being able to poke out of cover, take a shot, hide again. So let's add the closest ones we can. So let's get danger close, hemmed in. Then I think we're probably going to go major offensive and battle lines. So between these 4, we've got pretty close. So danger close, you can see we start off pretty close. We can get into the danger zone pretty quickly there. Hemmed in, we're going to be the blue player. Red player is splitting up their forces. Again, we can do some pretty good work there. Major offensive, we're pretty grouped up in the corner here, but we've got good access to the middle of the table. If we have another KP, we're going to hide it way out of the reach of the red player. Same with the objective, with the recover the supplies. So I think that's pretty good. And then the classic battle lines, we can still cross the board pretty quickly, but we want to avoid the long marches and the rollouts. So that is going to be our objectives and deployments. So conditions. So because we're looking to get into melee, the first thing I want to throw out there is limited visibility. So turn 1 you can only see to range 2. Turn 2 you can only see up to range 3. This is great for us to get into melee and get some more aggressive hits out there. So we've got quite tempted with hostile and war weary because we have Invader here. We have compel, which is on a core. If it's suppressed but not panicked, it may gain a suppression to perform a free move. So the core are going to be moving. Vader's infinite courage. These guys are courage 2. Oh, and 3. Seventh Sister is courage 3. So Fifth Brother and Royal Guards are courage 2. Seventh Sister is courage 3. We're going to be doing okay, I think. So let's add in war weary and hostile environment. So we're going to have to be a little bit more cautious about staying out of the firing lines, in that we don't want to be suppressed too heavily, but other people are going to be affected more because Vader has the infinite courage. We're never going to panic, which I think is pretty big for this list. And then finally, let's add clear conditions, just so that we have one that people are probably going to aim for, because nobody wants to play war weary or hostile. So I think here we've actually got quite a good list. I'm pretty excited to play it. So with those melee focused units, we're going to end up trying to get in people's faces, play real aggressive. We've got triple force push. I think it's got good manipulation of other people's pieces. We can get into melee fairly well with burst on Vader, with the IRG, with protector. We're going to be drawing hits away from our key pieces. We've got barrier. We've got double med droid. We're looking pretty tanky here. Even at 8 activations, I think this is pretty strong. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully I'll get this on the table. Maybe even when I play Cockles next, maybe I'll throw this at him, see how he gets on. But thank you for joining us in how I would build an Imperial list. If there's anything that you think that I've done wrong, or that you would do differently, please leave a comment below. But most importantly, I hope that this has helped newer players with how they would build an Imperial list. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
That's no moon.